Welcome on in, hockey fans, to City Ice Pavilion in Long Island City, New York, as the Long Island Mustangs come to town to take on the New York City Raiders in an LIAHL Tier 3 state-bound game. The Mustangs are 1-2-1 in their last 4, having played in the My Hockey Philadelphia tournament this past weekend, but in a separate division from the Raiders. In recent league play, the Mustangs have dropped 2 one-goal decisions to the Long Island Enforcers and lost by 4 goals to the resurgent Peconic Wildcats. The Mustangs are working hard to complete their state-bound schedule with a game in Freeport scheduled after this one, as well as a game on Sunday. The Raiders come into this game having shown well at the My Hockey Philadelphia tournament this past weekend, finishing up as runners-up to the Capitals Hockey Academy in a 3-1 thriller. The Raiders will feel a bit hard done by in the way that game was officiated, but there's nothing to be done about it now, and the Raiders will need to turn their focus to this weekend's 2 games, as well as the state play-in tournament that begins next Friday in Dix Hills, New York. For this game, expect a tough, tight one, as when these 2 teams met in World Ice in October, the Raiders won a close one, 3-1. A programming note for you before we get underway here in Queens. Tune in to Midnight Sports tomorrow at 6 p.m. as the Raiders will be at World Ice Arena to take on the Great Neck Bruins. We'll have all the coverage for you from Flushing Meadows, but first, it's the Raiders and the Mustangs from City Ice Pavilion. Keep it right here on Midnight Sports. Period 1, puck drop coming up next. Well, we're getting set here. Goalies checked, referees checked, scorers checked. Puck drop, period 1, Raiders, Mustangs, Long Island City, New York. Raiders eventually take over that face-off right after the drop, and then the Mustangs control in the neutral zone. It's Pizarro out there now. He leaves it for Petrocinelli, works his man over right in front of the scorer's table, and then it comes to Berliner, who comes over to the weak side, and Aiden will pick it up there. Aiden on the puck, sends it all the way in. Once he gains the line, the Raiders will turn and chase as the Mustangs get there first, but only so far is Sam Berliner, who gums up the play at the end wall. It's Berliner now, working hard to get that puck up to the point. Comes up to for Aiden. He sends a shot on goal. It's deflected just wide there by Petro. Farrell almost had that puck in the net on the deflection by Petro. Now the Raiders try and work that puck up to the point. They find Petro at the far circle. He sends it in farther. And the Mustangs will take over in their own end with some speed now. They look to break out. Mustangs in all red in this one. And the Raiders will gain the line, send it right back in, try and make a change. Hits a Mustang stick, though, in the defensive zone. And now the Mustangs will come on into the offensive zone, look to get their first shot in on net. Sticked aside there by Ryan Speaker, who's taken over the cage today as the Mustangs keep the zone. Still Mustangs in the near corner. This puck now comes up to the near half wall and sits there momentarily as 4 players are in on it, but Berliner gets that puck over toward Meyerowicz, just a little bit out of his reach. They have an arm raised here, and that'll be an icing. Just 1 minute and 24 seconds into this game. It'll be a defensive zone faceoff for the Raiders, coming to Speaker's left. Looks like it'll be Marchuka out there at the dot. He's got Samosi, Steinfink, Meyerowicz out there with him. Puck's dropped one over toward the slot, taken over by Samosi. Samosi stick handles it up to the blue line, but he's taken out of the play there, and the Mustangs look to fire a shot on goal. Unable to do so, now Samosi passes it up to Marchuka. Marchuka with speed through the neutral zone. He's gained the offensive zone, 2-on-1 with Samosi. 1-2. Oh, a wonderful save there by the Mustangs goaltender on that 2-on-1. It was tic-tac-toe for the Raiders, but the last move went to the Mustangs, and they were able to block him out. It's going to be a trip coming up here on the Raiders. Looks like Marchuka will go to the box as soon as that puck's touched up. Now Samosi does. And so, for the next 2 minutes, the Raiders will be a man down in this scoreless game here in the first. Raiders penalty killers will come over the board here. It's Finkelstein, Vigliotti, Steinfink, and Gosler out there as this faceoff comes to Speaker's left. Won by the Raiders momentarily, all the way through the slot, now out of the zone. Some good penalty killing to start here as the clock ticks under 13 minutes to go in the first period. Mustangs take over again the neutral zone. They look to set up their play there. They gain the line and now the zone. They're in, and they're to the near side, trying to set something up there at the blue line, but they're gummed up immediately. Looks like by Finkelstein. Finkelstein at the near point. Deflection comes in, then goes wide of the cage on the double deflection. Steinfink corrals the puck, settles it down, sends it up all the way past the far point and out of the zone. Mustangs will have to recycle here in the neutral zone and now into their own zone. Still the Mustangs at their own blue line. They work it up through the neutral zone, only so far as Gosler, who just chips it right back out of the zone, and the Mustangs have to break back in. They break into the slot, looking to get it on the backhand, now the forehand. They're on the backhand. That shot goes wide of the cage. And 1 minute and 9 seconds left to go on the kill here as the Raiders will ice this puck on the penalty kill. So it'll be another defensive zone draw coming up for the Raiders. It'll be Fauci, Pizarro, Aiden, and Kalemba out there as the penalty killing unit now with 1 minute and 5 left to go on the power play for the Mustangs. Shot comes in, kicked aside there by Speaker at first. Then another shot comes in and he freezes that. So with 12:01 left to go in the first period, 2 quick saves by Speaker, 59 seconds left to go on the Mustangs power play. We'll do it all over again at the far circle. It'll be Pizarro over the dot. Pizarro tries to win that harmlessly over to the half wall and then sends it back, stick aside to the end wall by Speaker. Aiden turns, reverses over toward Kalemba. Kalemba now at the near half wall, tries to work that up and out of the zone. It's stopped at the near point. The Mustangs look to fire that back in. Mustangs still working hard there, but Kalemba works just a little bit harder, and he's able to get that puck up and out of the zone, killing more of this penalty. The Mustangs will recycle in the neutral zone. Now they break back in with some possession and speed. Only so far as Fauci, though, who finds Pizarro. Pizarro now turns at his blue line. He's got a 1-on-1, maybe a 2-on-1 going with Kalemba here as he enters the offensive zone. Backhanded shot, saved nicely. Could have been a shorty there for the Raiders, but instead we get a stoppage in play on the shot by Pizarro on the backhand. Raiders will get some new penalty killers out there with 27 seconds left to go here on the penalty kill for them, and 11:30 left to go in the first period. Pizarro wins that forward, then takes the puck, sends it up to Gosler at the blue line, rolls off his stick, so the Mustangs will break out the other way. They make it so far as Steinfink, who turns the puck right the other way. Petro chops it farther into the zone. Mustangs will have to set up again in their zone. They're at their own blue line. They try a diagonal pass up, and they do gain the offensive zone there, but backtracking is Steinfink expertly to take over the puck as it rolls into the defensive zone. Mustangs again try and set up in the neutral zone, again gummed up there. We're back to 5-on-5 skating now as the Mustangs have the puck at the halfway line, and they just shovel it in, and Gosser will take over behind his own net. Harassed by a man there, uses the glass to get that puck up and out of the zone. Mustangs will have to take over again in the neutral zone. These teams really feeling each other out at the moment. A few shots on goal, but no one with any grade A chances just yet. Now it'll be Pizarro working it over to Berliner. They break into the offensive zone. Berliner tries a backhanded pass, and it's just deflected to the end wall. The Mustangs now hurriedly trying to get this puck up and out of the zone. Puck comes to the near point. Zone kept there by Aiden twice now, and he dumps it right back in. Pizarro now at the end boards, looking for Berliner out front. Mustangs beat him to it, and they'll take over the puck here at the near half wall, but they're bumped off the puck by Pizarro. Petro turns, trying to fire that deeper. Instead, this puck's going to go all the way down for an icing, and that's going to cross the end line, and it'll give time for us to visit with our first sponsor this morning. Today's Game on Midnight Sports is made possible by finding money in your pocket. Hockey fans, you throw a pair of pants on and drop your key in the pocket, but what's that you feel? Is it a receipt? No, sir, it's a dollar bill. As you reach in to figure out just what denomination of money you've discovered, like buried treasure, you already have a smile on your face. Even though that currency was safely in your pocket for days, weeks, or months, as far as you're concerned, you've hit the jackpot. It's finding money in your pocket. Perhaps the only time that finding something you had all along will put a little hop in your step. Well, ensuing faceoff went all the way down to the Raiders zone and then back again into the offensive zone. Mustangs will whip that all the way down. Speaker will watch this one as it's on goal, and he'll have to brush that aside over to Tanoff. Tanoff blows a tire over in the far corner, but he's able to move the puck up to Marchuka. Still not out of the zone yet, though, as the Mustangs look to take over in the offensive zone. They dump that puck in deeper. They'll go behind the net there. No arm raise for interference, and we'll play on. Mustangs send it all the way to the weak side, and now Meyerowicz fires in to try and chip that puck farther. He gets it up to the far point, rolls off a stick there, and now Samosi harasses his man, and Tanoff will take over and feather that puck up to the blue line, not out yet. Gets a second bite at the apple, sends it farther. The puck's out of the zone, and now it's covered with a hand. Still no call coming as the hand pass is wiped after Samosi touches up the puck. 4 players in now. Puck sits in front of the scorer's table. Marchuka dances around one man, tries to get that puck into the slot. It rolls just off his stick there, and the Mustangs will take over in their own end. They send that up and out of the zone. Gosser will hold on to the puck there, but we've got another call coming here on the Raiders, and they'll go to the box for roughing. It'll be Samosi to the box for 2 for roughing, and with 8:38 left to go here in the first, the Raiders will go back to the kill. Just a slight injury delay there as Mustangs player was skating off under his own power to the bench after the heavy hitting in the corner by the Raiders. 8:38 left to go here in the first. 2 minutes on the board for the penalty for roughing. Mustangs win that. They get into the slot, try a sneaky shot in, hits a few bodies, and then it's swiped away there by Finkelstein over to Vigliotti. Vigliotti takes over at his own blue line, works the puck up into the neutral zone to try and kill some of this penalty. Then Finkelstein dumps it off a skate into the zone, gives chase, gets all the way in, sends a tight angle shot, saved nicely there by the Mustangs goaltender. They'll come right back the other way. It's 3-on-3 for the Mustangs. They dump that puck in, just not deep enough as it's chipped up to the near corner. Still a rolling puck at the blue line, sits there, and now the shot comes in, hits a few bodies in front, goes wide of the cage. Mustangs send that in, flicked into the blue paint. No stick there for the Mustangs. They're pushing on this power play now. Mustangs buzzing into the slot. Puck comes. Finkelstein cuts it out, and now Finkelstein all the way through the neutral zone. He's got a 2-on-1 with Vigliotti. He finds Vigliotti there. Vigliotti shoots. Oh, a late back check there by the Mustangs. Expertly done by their defender. Cuts that shot out, and now they come the other way in a 3-on-2 to the Mustangs. Mustangs still circling. They're at the near circle. It's just gloved by Speaker, and he'll buy his team a line change as he freezes that puck. 7:39 left to go here in the first. Still 1:01 to go on the kill for the Raiders. Near circle drop, won by the Raiders. Sam Berliner all the way back to the end wall. Curled now by Finkelstein over to the near half boards. Sits there, and then it's dumped back in by the Mustangs off the back of the cage. Kalemba will pick up the puck in his own end. At the far corner, he's able to bounce that off the boards past his man, and now he'll give chase into the offensive zone. Lifts the stick of his man, gums this up just a bit more for the Mustangs, who've got 40 seconds left to go on the man advantage. Mustangs work that up to the blue line, but not beyond as Tanoff pinches in, sends that off the corner boards, and the Mustangs will have to set up again in their own zone. Still a heavy forecheck by Kalemba, stopping this play from breaking out of the zone just yet for the Mustangs. They make it so far as Tanoff. He slaps one in just wide of the cage. Kalemba now over at the near half wall. Berliner dumps it over to him. Kalemba taken out of the play there fairly as adjudged by the linesman. And 4 players in the near corner by the Zamboni doors. Kalemba emerges with it, tries a backhand in. Stick lifted at the last second, and now the Mustangs have a 4-on-2 if they hurry. They'll go for a bit of a change. It's a 2-on-2 now. Shot comes in. Speaker again gloves it there. And so with 6:36 left to go here in the first, we're back to 5-on-5 skating. Defensive zone draw coming up for the Raiders. This draw is going to come right to Speaker's right. Berliner out there, wins that on the backhand. And Fauci tries to work that up farther. Mustangs dump it right back in. Petrocinelli now fires at the near half wall, trying to get that puck up and out of the zone. It comes to the near point, but it's chipped farther by Petrocinelli, and Bizarro gets on his horse, but two Mustangs cut him off before he's able to get to the puck. Puck comes to the blue line, and it's only chipped so far as Bizarro, who works it back for Fauci. Not on the same page there as they got crossed up on that pass, so Fauci goes to retrieve in his far defensive corner, reverses to himself behind his own net. Fauci still with the puck, works that one up to Bizarro, up the right wing. Bizarro looks to chip it to himself at the scorer's table. Mustangs cut out the threat, though, and they pour right back into the offensive zone. The Mustangs in the offensive zone, far corner, taken out of the play there by Aiden. Berliner chips that again up to Bizarro. Bizarro, speed, has warned his man off, pinching in, and he finds Petrocinelli on the weak side. It's Petro curling to the slot, sends one. Oh, he just misses the top corner. Boy, they don't get much closer than that without a clang sound. It's Bizarro, though, picking up the puck, going behind his own net, trying to work it over on the backhand, and it finds a Mustang stick and then finds Petrocinelli's stick with a quick trigger. Shoots, and it's saved and sticked aside by the Mustangs goaltender. Now the puck rolls to the end boards. Bizarro picks it up there, trying to cycle, rolls off his stick, and the Mustangs will look to break out here from their zone. They only make it so far as Berliner, though, pours right back in. It's Berliner looking for a teammate at the back door. Couldn't quite get it to him, so now the Mustangs have a 2-on-2 coming the other way. Gosser and Aiden back. Bouncing puck there. It's just gloved aside by Speaker and pushed up into the zone. Mustangs trying anything to get a rebound out in the open on Speaker. Bizarro works that over to Petrocinelli. Petrocinelli comes through the neutral zone, and he dumps that in so the Raiders can complete a change. But they had broken into the zone just a little bit too early, so it'll be an offside on the Raiders with 6:18 left to go here in the first period. Well, puck's dropped, and Marchuka wins that faceoff. Tries to pour into the offensive zone now. Dump the puck in deeper. He's battling two Mustangs over there, but he battles well and gets the puck all the way into the far corner. Now it comes up to Tanoff at the far point. He sends a shot in, sticked aside by the Mustangs goaltender. Marchuka tries a wraparound. Puck sits in the blue paint there, and then it's chipped up to the near point. Guided nicely by the Mustangs defenseman, out of danger. They'll take over at the near corner, trying to work that puck up and out of the zone. They skate it out of the zone there. They chip it off the boards, and Tanoff, covering, is able to chip that puck up to the near point and now out of the zone. Rolling puck comes to Meyerowicz. He's got Samosi over there with him down the right wing. Meyerowicz will dump in deeper so some Raiders can go for a change. Meyerowicz harassing his man as well as Samosi over at the near corner, but the Mustangs will break out. They're at their own blue line. Now they're through the neutral zone. They try a deflected shot in. Kicked aside there by Speaker. Puck comes to Finkelstein, who tries to work it farther in the far corner. Puck now to Tanoff. Tanoff behind his own net on the backhand. Self-reverse. Tries to get that puck up and out. Good stick lift there by the Mustangs. Keeps the puck in the zone. They're looking to get this puck up to the point. They do, at least so far as the half wall, but a bouncing puck eludes all sticks. The Mustangs will have to pick up in their own end. Samosi on the forecheck. That puck gets feathered up, and it comes to Finkelstein, and then Meyerowicz, who tries to turn farther with it, but the Mustangs come away with it. They're at the blue line, are the Mustangs, trying to pour in. Gosser pushes his man wide all the way to the near corner. Mustangs working hard to get that puck net front. Comes to Samosi, though, who chops it out of the zone. This puck's going to roll all the way down for an icing. And so with 4:19 left to go here in the first period, it's another defensive zone draw coming up for the Raiders. It'll be Finkelstein at the dot. He's got Vigliotti, Gosser, Kalemba out there. Speaker with one save, sticks it aside, so there's no rebound right in front of the net. Finkelstein will take over. Finkelstein behind his own net, works over to find a defenseman, who finds Kalemba, who works the puck farther in. Kalemba blows a tire there, and the Mustangs will pick up the puck in their own zone. But a nice forecheck there by Vigliotti. He's able to keep the puck in. Comes to Kalemba. Bouncing puck there. Shepherded out of danger by the Mustangs as the rolling puck comes all the way through the neutral zone. Gosser with a man on will turn, use the glass, and get that puck up and out of the zone. It comes to a Mustang stick in the defensive zone, then right back into the neutral zone. So Vigliotti will take over. Leave it for Gosser. Gosser now looking for a teammate. Works that up weak side to Kalemba. Kalemba works that puck farther into the offensive zone. 3:30 left to go here in the first period. As Kalemba looks for a teammate in the net front, hits the side of the cage, and the Mustangs will try and work that puck up and out of the zone. It comes to Aiden there, just has to shovel it on the backhand. Finkelstein turning with it, works that over to Vigliotti. Vigliotti in the slot, saved nicely there by the Mustangs goaltender. Kalemba tries to reverse over to the net front. Comes to Vigliotti at the far half wall. Puck sits for a while, and then again shoveled farther by Aiden. Hits a Mustang skate. Aiden gets it back, but he gets crossed up there at the blue line, so he'll go point to point for Fauci. Puck comes to the red line, dumped in by the Mustangs. They'll be able to change players if they want. Raiders changing a little bit behind the play here as Vigliotti chips it up, takes a Mustangs man out of the play, but finds Finkelstein, who finds Berliner. Berliner now all alone at center ice. Into the offensive zone is Berliner. Tries to curl to the slot. Puck comes off his stick as the Raiders were finishing their change. Berliner gets the puck back, finds Bizarro in the slot. Bizarro leaves it for Petrosinelli, who goes high over the cage. He was in the high slot there, trying to send one over the shoulder of the Mustangs goaltender. But the Raiders are going to be able to keep the zone here. Petrosinelli tries again. This one wide of the cage. Rebound coming. Chipped to the back wall by the Mustangs defenders. And they're going to look to break out of the zone here. They make it so far as the near point. That crosses the blue line. So Steinfink will buy his forwards a little bit of time to clear the zone. Steinfink on the puck in his own end. 2:14 left to go. That puck comes up to the blue line after it rolls a bit on him. But it's chipped farther by the Raiders. Berliner now trying to stop the play all by himself. He does as the Mustangs clear. They've got Pizarro in a 2-on-1. Puck comes over to Pizarro, just a little bit behind him though. And the Raiders will have to set this again. Gosser able to keep the zone with a long stick there. But the Mustangs do eventually come away with it, and they've got a 2-on-1 developing. Gosser hurries back to cut out the threat. Tanoff backhands that up and out of the zone. 1:43 left to go here as the Mustangs had cleared the zone, and now they're right back into the offensive zone but without possession. Gosser on the puck, uses the boards to get that up and out. Finds Bizarro. Bizarro in a 1-on-2 here, able to dangle a bit, save his team the trouble of having to get the puck back in the neutral zone. Puck now sits at the near circle. Mustangs do come away with it there, and now they're through the neutral zone. It's a true 2-on-2. A lot of ice out there as Tanoff looks to push his man farther. Shot comes in there. Speaker makes one save, then two, and a wonderful skate of Gosser's able to keep that puck out of the net. Bizarro comes right back the other way. Tries to go around his man as 4 Raiders are changing. The Mustangs will come right back out. 4 new Raiders out there, though. 60 seconds left to go in this first period as the pace has intensified markedly just in the last minute. Now Samosi on the puck in the far corner. He's got it on the forehand. He looks up, surveys his options. Marchuka to the right. Pizarro will go for a change. Still Samosi trying to work through the neutral zone. He will again buy his team a little bit of time and then dump in. Marchuka fires in on the forecheck. 40 seconds left to go here as the Mustangs look to get that puck up and out of the zone. It's all the way to the far point, and then it's chipped in farther by Steinfink. Mustangs rack that around the boards. Marchuka with the puck. He curls in the slot, tries to send a shot in, comes off his stick at the last second, and bouncing puck there evades Steinfink's stick, and Fauci will turn to try and recover. Fauci on the puck. 17 seconds left to go. Marchuka up here on the left wing. Mustangs will dump that back into the zone just a little too quickly, and so there'll be 11.6 seconds left to go here in the first. And it's an offside on the Mustangs. Face-off coming. Now the Mustangs dump that in from center ice. And so the ensuing face-off at center ice. Raiders win that through the stick of Marchuka and Samosi. With 6 seconds left, they dump that into the offensive zone. Doesn't look like anyone's going to get a shot off here. 2-1, and that'll do it for the first. So after 1, we're scoreless here at City Ice Pavilion. Raiders nothing, Mustangs nothing. Stick around. Puck drop for period 2 coming up next, right after we visit with our second sponsor of the morning.
Hey there, hockey fans. Do you find yourself needing a first, second, or maybe even a third car? Well, come on down to Rowdy Howdy's and pick out a winner. We've got big cars, little cars, red cars, brown cars, and even some cars that work. If you've been in the market for a car, truck, or even one of them fancy dancy SUVs, Rowdy Howdy's got what you need. We're located at 1234 Fake Ad Boulevard, just off the interstate. You'll know you're in rowdy, howdy country when you see the biggest American flag you've ever seen in your life. So get your butt on down to Rowdy Howdy's and lasso up a deal on a car that maybe will work. Rowdy Howdy's.
Well, we're getting ready here. Puck drop, period 2, coming up right now. Won by the Raiders. They'll look to fire in to the offensive zone. And the puck there, shepherded out by the Mustangs, but not out of the zone entirely. Hits a skate and comes right back into Finkelstein here in the near corner. Raiders heavy on the forecheck. Work that up to the far point, but it comes off a stick and comes out of the zone. So in the neutral zone, they'll battle right in front of the bench of the Mustangs. Mustangs fire that puck in. Raiders will have to give chase in their own end. Comes to Marchuka there, who reverses over, and the Mustangs will pick that puck up. Mustangs have it momentarily until Meyerowicz turns and tries to fire that out of the zone. Comes to Marchuka, then it sits in the slot. Mustangs take over there. Look to get a shot in on goal. Heavy work there, though, by Steinfink to steer his man all the way to the corner. Puck now comes up to the slot. It's dumped in deeper by the Mustangs. Hits a few skates, and the Mustangs will look to take over possession and try and get a shot on goal here as the puck trickles out. Shot comes in, stick to side there by Speaker quickly. Mustangs try and get that puck farther. Instead, comes up to the blue line, and they'll dump it right back in. Mustangs in the near corner, working hard. Another puck comes into the blue paint. It's covered there by Speaker, and Gossler's able to clear the blue paint of all the red jerseys there. And so, looks like Gossler and his counterpart on the Mustangs will be going to the box here after some after action. Gossler just defending his goaltender there as the Mustangs took a few liberties with the glove hand of Speaker. Looks like they'll be coincidental minors, and we'll have some 5-on-5 hockey still with 13:47 left to go here in the second. Well, it's Samosi, Aiden, Bizarro, Berliner, and Tanoff out there. And the Mustangs have that puck sit at the dot, try and work it up, but it's chipped farther by Samosi. Samosi now streaking into the offensive end, tries a slapper that goes just wide of the cage. Bizarro collects at the far half wall, feathers that over to Berliner. Berliner, tight angle shot, rebound coming. No Raiders stick can get in the way. It comes up to Samosi there, but he gets the puck chopped off his stick, and now it comes to the near point as Tanoff will just have to cycle the puck in the neutral zone. Mustangs trying to work that puck farther. They hit a man in the neutral zone. It was Bizarro who's able to shepherd the puck just a little bit farther in the neutral zone until Berliner's able to come back and take it from Tanoff. Berliner into the offensive zone now with speed. Works that over to Samosi. Samosi on the forehand. Couldn't get all of that rolling puck. Still sent it on goal, and it was a nice save by the Mustangs. Raiders trying to get that puck in deeper. Comes to Bizarro. Bizarro on the puck now. Looking to work that over to Berliner. He does. Berliner uses the boards to chip it up to Aiden, who just dumps that in farther. Bizarro now leaves that puck for Samosi, who fires into the near corner. Samosi returns the favor to Bizarro. Bizarro tries a wraparound, sits in the slot momentarily, comes up to Tanoff, who can only dump it in deeper as all the passing and shooting lanes were cut off. Rolling puck comes into the neutral zone. Long stick of Aiden there. Settles that puck down, guides it farther for Berliner, who can dump in so the Raiders can make a change. 12:23 left to go in the second period as the Mustangs take over in their own end. Puck comes up to Vigliotti. Vigliotti now on the puck, gains the line, pours in the offensive zone, sends a shot wide of the cage. Petrocinelli out there with it. Petrocinelli picks up the puck. Vigliotti calling for it in the slot. Petrocinelli tries a tight angle shot. Rebound nearly came to Vigliotti. Comes up to Fauci instead. Looks for a seeing eye puck. Can't quite get through. 12 minutes left to go here in the second now, as the Raiders take over at the near point. It's dumped in deeper. Vigliotti takes a big hit to make a play there, and a clearance comes all the way down. That ought to be icing, and it is, with 11:50 left to go here in the second period. It'll be an offensive zone draw coming up for the Raiders. And a reminder, you're watching this game on Midnight Sports. If it's super early in the morning and you didn't have to leave home to watch youth hockey, it's Midnight Sports. Petrocinelli at the far dot. Puck just sits as both players miss it at first as they jammed up their sticks. Mustangs are going to be able to clear the zone, but Vigliotti with a wonderful back check there takes his man out of the play and then takes over the puck at the red line. Kalemba shepherds that farther into the offensive zone, chopped out of the air now by Vigliotti. The Mustangs are able to fire that in to the offensive zone. Aiden turns in the far corner, reverses that over toward Vigliotti, and it's going to be kept in there. No, it wasn't. Oh, a little hit and a miss by the Mustangs. Sees that puck come over all the way into their defensive zone, but they do take over at their blue line again. Now with speed into the offensive zone of the Mustangs. Shot comes in. It's gloved down there by Speaker. That one was going in, and it was against the run of play as the Raiders have dominated so far here in the second period. In any event, Raiders will come out of their zone and look to send that puck cross ice. Instead, it comes off a stick, so the Mustangs dump back in. Looks like the Mustangs are trying to tilt the ice back the other way here. Puck comes over to Aiden. Aiden's going to skate this puck all the way out of his zone. He's going to get through the neutral zone into the offensive zone, still going 150 feet in. He sends a shot in on net. Great play by him to get that puck out of danger and all the way in on net on the Mustangs. He takes over again in the far corner. Tanoff now stays back, as well as Petrocinelli covering for Aiden, who had pitched far in on that play. Mustangs all the way into the offensive zone now. Tanoff all over his man. Marchuka out there to help Tanoff work this puck up and out of the zone. They do. The Mustangs will give chase. Meyerowicz now in on the forecheck. He's able to separate his man from the puck. Looks like, though, it came just a bit offside. Tight call there at the blue line. So with 10:15 left to go here in the second, it's going to be a draw just outside the Raiders' offensive zone. To be Marchuka, Meyerowicz, Finkelstein out as the forwards. Steinfink and Fauci as the defensive pair. One forward by Marchuka. They fire into the attacking zone to the Raiders, but without possession. And the puck comes all the way over to the near half wall up to the near point. Steinfink takes the puck, dumps that in farther. Meyerowicz gives chase there at the near half wall, and Steinfink dumps it in again. Puck comes over to Marchuka just behind the Mustangs' cage. Mustangs looking to get this puck out of the zone. Comes up to Steinfink, who jams it farther once then twice, but he hits a man, and the puck will come the other way. Looks like it's going to be a high stick here, though, on Steinfink, who will be going to the box for 2 minutes after he tried to dump that puck in a little bit farther. Stick came up and hit a man. So, with 9:46 left to go here in the second, Raiders back to the penalty kill. Well, this will be a drop just to Speaker's right. Marchuka out there trying to win that over to the corner. Finkelstein fires in, though. He's able to shepherd that puck across the blue line. Mustangs will take over there. Marchuka goes in on the forecheck. 2 Mustangs men around him. Comes up to Finkelstein. Finkelstein takes the puck. He sends a soft shot in on goal. Oh, that would have been a nice shorty there for the Raiders. But instead, it's covered up by the Mustangs goaltenders. So with 1:46 left to go on the Mustangs man advantage, 9:32 left to go here in the second. It's an offensive zone draw for the Raiders, who are down a man. Marchuka will go for a change here. Berliner out to win this faceoff. Mustangs come away with that faceoff. They work that puck up and out of their zone, at least as far as the blue line, and now it does cross the line eventually. Berliner, though, able to get that puck right back in. Berliner sends that puck in, goes in on the forecheck. Mustangs will come weak side. They make it so far as the neutral zone, and Gossler just steers it over to Bizarro, tries to slap it farther. Rolling puck, though, hard to corral. Puck again comes to Gossler. Gossler on the puck now, feathers that up deep into the zone, icing waved. Good play by him to get close enough to the Mustangs defender's stick to have icing waved as he had not gained the line. Puck comes up to Bizarro. Bizarro turns with it, just killing more of the clock here, and he finds Gossler weak side. Look out. Gossler looking to get that on the forehand. He sends a tight angle shot just wide of the cage. Puck comes all the way up and out of the zone. So Bizarro will send that over to Aiden. Aiden at his own blue line has the puck come off his stick, and so he'll have to turn to corral it again. Still a rolling puck. Uses the boards. It's chopped out of the air there by the Mustangs, who pour into the offensive zone. Gossler able to guide that wide to the near point. Still not out of the zone yet for the Raiders, just yet as the puck sits at the blue line, and now Bizarro turns with the puck in the neutral zone. 50 seconds left to go on the man advantage for the Mustangs. Gossler will take over in his own zone. Tries to go past a man. The Mustangs come away with it. Puck rolls through the low slot. No Mustangs stick in the way, so it goes all the way to the far corner. Now Bizarro in the neutral zone. He's one-on-one. He's got a man behind him, though. He's able to lift his stick momentarily. Puck still comes to him in the slot, but he's unable to get a real shot off there as the Mustangs all over him. Another penalty coming, though, on the Raiders. Looks like it's going to be Petrosinelli to the box for 2 minutes. So for the next 21 seconds, that's going to be a 5-on-3 for the Mustangs. And an offensive zone draw coming up. 8:06 left to go here in the second period. The Raiders bench asking for an explanation here as to the penalty call. Looks like the Raiders bench does not agree with that call. But regardless, it's going to be 2 Raiders in the box for 21 seconds. It's Marchuka over the far dot. He's got Tanoff and Fauci out there with him as the 2 other Raiders penalty killers. Puck's going to be dropped. Here it is. It's won by Marchuka over to Tanoff. Tanoff uses the glass. It sends that all the way around. Not just out of the zone yet, though. Comes to the near point. They walk in, do the Mustangs. Shot comes, hits the outside of the post as it missed all bodies, and then the ensuing shot goes wide. 1 second left on the 2-man advantage for the Mustangs. Smosi comes in, shot into the slot. Partial shot was deflected, and then it hits the side of the cage into the blue paint. Swiped nicely there by out by Fauci, out of harm's way. Puck still in the slot. It's the Mustangs now circling with the puck. Really getting some juice in the skates are the Mustangs with the man advantage, but it does eventually come to Marchuka. Marchuka pushes it up into the neutral zone, tries to dump in, rolling puck, couldn't quite get his stick on it. Mustangs will come right back the other way. Mustangs in the slot, send a deflected shot on net. Speaker able to steer that aside and keep the clock running. It's Fauci now battling in the near corner with his man. Samosi fires in. Jams his stick there by the Zamboni doors, trying to get that puck out of the zone. Instead, he'll turn the other way on the backhand, then reverse to himself, look up, use the boards, and send it to the near point. Not out just yet as the Mustangs dump right back in. Fauci now turns, harasses his man, takes the puck off him, and he'll use the boards the other way. 42 seconds left to go on the man advantage for the Mustangs. Puck comes to Marchuka. Samosi calling for it in the middle of the ice. He had a few men on him, so the Raiders break back in through the stick of Marchuka. Look out for that backhand. He can lift, and it goes just wide. 6:35 left to go as the Raiders get another shorty shot on goal, as it looked like it might have hit the blocker of the Mustangs goaltender, but in any event, we play on. Marchuka curling in his own zone with the puck. Soft pass up to Samosi into the neutral zone, chipped past him by the Mustangs, and then a rolling puck does come to Samosi. Samosi finds Marchuka in the slot, who sends a bouncing puck in on goal, and it's covered there by the Mustangs goaltender. 7 seconds left to go on the man advantage for the Mustangs. 6:13 left to go here in the second period. It's all yet still to be decided, as this faceoff is going to come to the Mustangs goaltender's left, and it'll be Vigliotti, Kalemba, Gossler, and Aiden out there. Vigliotti tries to win that faceoff forward. He does. Mustangs come away with it. Only so far as Aiden at the near point, and then it is chopped out of the zone. Gossler covers over to the neutral zone, dumps it back in, and Kalemba tries to fire it farther. Puck sits at the blue line there, and the Mustangs will gain the offensive zone here. They're in the high slot. They send a shot just wide of the cage, and now they try the rebound there. As the rolling puck hits the side of the cage, it's fired up, but not out of the zone just yet. Mustangs with another shot in, blocked there by Speaker. We're back to 5-on-5 skating, and that clearance attempt does go all the way down. Looks like it'll be Vigliotti on the forecheck. It's chopped up, but not out. Kalemba pushing in, trying to get a shot in on goal. He's going to get He's going to draw a penalty here, for interference. And so the Raiders, for the first time today, will be going on the power play with 5:33 left to go. Good work by Vigliotti and Colomba there to create something out of nothing as the penalty expired to the Raiders. It'll be more special teams play here from City Ice Pavilion. And it's going to be a draw coming to the Mustang goalie's left. Well, it'll be Berliner at the near dot. He's got Marchuka, Meyerowicz, Petrosinelli, and Gosler out there with him. Berliner leans over to try and win this on the backhand. Back to Petrosinelli, who's right at the top of the circle and can launch it. He does, and he does. That shot saved by the Mustangs goaltender. Gosler now fires one in. Rebound, sits there momentarily after it hits a body. Meyerowicz works that over to Petrosinelli. The Mustangs are going to come away at the near half wall with this puck. Send it in the neutral zone. Bouncing puck finds Marchuka's stick. Gosler takes over, sends that weak side over toward Meyerowicz. Little too hot to handle, though, and the Raiders will have to set it up again. They'll go point to point and their own end. Gosler now with the puck. He's going to go weak side again over to Meyerowicz. Meyerowicz on the puck. Dances around one man at the blue line, then two. Gets it on the forehand as Meyerowicz. Shot comes in. It's sticked aside by the Mustangs goaltender. Mustangs with the puck. They work that puck up cross center ice, and they find Marchuka there. Marchuka turns with the puck in the neutral zone. Now he gains the offensive zone, does Marchuka. He's dancing in with lots of speed. He goes around the net looking for a teammate in the slot. He's got Gosler up at the near point. Leaves it for him there. Gosler steps in and then goes weak side. Looks for the one-timer for Berliner, who can't quite connect. Berliner picks up his loose shot, though. Goes behind the net. Tries to get onto the forehand. He's curling around. Uses the boards to find Gosler. Gosler on the puck. Sends one in, but hits a man in front. And he rubs his man off the puck momentarily. Now the Mustangs with a mini break. Mustangs in, and Speaker's able to shut that one down in the pads on that mini break. It's a good save by him on the power play. 4:18 left to go here in the second period. Still 45 seconds on the man advantage for the Raiders, but a defensive zone draw coming up for them. Well, next power play unit will come out. It's Samosi, Bizarro, Finkelstein, Steinfink, and Aiden. Samosi takes that face-off win by Finkelstein and chips it up ice to himself. Samosi now on the forehand. Going with Verve, looking for a teammate. That puck goes up and in. Oh, it's a Raiders goal. Well, the Raiders score there. And looked like they were able to get that puck from the stick of Samosi over toward another forward, and that's a Raiders goal. Raiders 1, Mustangs 0 here late in the second period. 4 minutes left to go in this middle frame. Ensuing face-off, Raiders win. They push it up into the neutral zone through Finkelstein. Not sure whether Finkelstein or Bizarro got that goal. Gonna have to check the replay after this one. In any event, Raiders going to work now in the offensive zone. Puck comes up to the near point. Finds Steinfink there, jams it farther for Finkelstein. Finkelstein dances around his man, and then his stick's held as he's taken out of the play, so the Mustangs are going to be able to chip this up, but not out of the zone. Samosi finds the puck, sends that in, and Finkelstein will give chase again. Finkelstein on the puck now, trying to work it farther. Puck comes over to Steinfink, who jams it on in, and Samosi will fire in again. A lot of tenacity shown there by Samosi on that scoring play as he took the puck wide all the way toward the net, and rather than take the tight angle shot, he was able to make the last pass there for the goal. But we're going to have another call here. Looks like another Raider will be going to the box for roughing for 2 minutes. Let's see who it'll be. Well, no, that's a long skate for a red jersey. And so Raiders will be going to the power play here again. Late in the second, 3:17 left to go. Offensive zone draw coming up for them. And the Mustangs to the box for 2 for roughing at the near half wall. It'll be Berliner, Marchuka, Petrosinelli, Bizarro, and Gosler out there as the power play unit for the Raiders. Berliner wins that on the backhand, comes up to Marchuka at the near point. Marchuka sends that farther in for Petrosinelli, who goes rink wide for Gosler. Gosler's able to corral that puck and dump it right back in. Now the puck comes to Berliner behind the net. Berliner tries to send that up to the near half wall. Instead, cycles it over for Bizarro. Bizarro turns with the puck behind the net, looking for a teammate in the slot. Comes up to Berliner, leaves it for Marchuka. Marchuka now, no shooting lane, so he just dumps that puck in. Bizarro on the puck. Oh, he goes around his man looking for Berliner. Instead, he finds Gossler. Gossler loads up, sends a shot in. It's gloved down by the Mustangs goaltender. A nice save through traffic by that Mustangs goaltender, and Gossler's going to get a second bite at it here. He sends that one low. It's sticked aside by the Mustangs goaltender. 1:19 left to go on the power play here for the Raiders. Raiders trying to buzz around the net right now. They're collapsing this umbrella penalty killing unit of the Mustangs. Gossler dumps that puck in. Bizarro on it now, works that puck up, comes to Petrosinelli, goes just high of the cage. Mustangs are going to be able to get this puck out of the zone. It comes up to Marchuka at the blue line. No, it didn't come out, according to the linesman, but now it does. Petrosinelli dumps that farther in. Berliner waits. All forwards had cleared, and now the puck comes in, but we're going to get a call and a stoppage in play. Looked like it's going to be an offside call on the Raiders. Seemed like everyone had cleared, but with 2:07 left to go here in the second, it's an offside face-off just outside the Raiders' attacking zone. It'll be Finkelstein over the dot here. He's got Kalemba, Vigliotti, Tanoff, and Fauci. Fauci's going to find this puck off the face-off and dump in. Vigliotti now fires in to pick it up. Vigliotti on the puck at the end boards, looking in front toward Finkelstein. Finkelstein now in for support. Mustangs come the other way with it, though, on the forehand. They're going to chip that pass, and it's going to go all the way down. Should be an icing here with 1:49 now left in this middle frame. Still 33 seconds left to go in the power play. Offensive zone draw coming up for the Raiders. Well, Finkelstein at the far dot. He's got Tanoff behind him as well as Fauci. Vigliotti and Kalemba out there. Finkelstein works that puck forward. Mustangs will try and turn in the far corner with it, but they cannot get past Eli Finkelstein. Puck does eventually come up to Tanoff, only at the blue line. Tanoff tries a snap shot in, but can't quite get the puck all the way toward the net. So the Raiders will set up again in the neutral zone. It's dragged farther by Vigliotti, but the Mustangs turn right the other way with the puck, and they'll dump in to kill off the rest of this penalty. We'll be back to 5-on-5 skating here in just about 5 seconds as Tanoff picks up the puck, chips that up and out of the zone. He finds Kalemba. Kalemba now at the offensive blue line, dumps in, takes a heavy hit at the near half wall, separated from the puck, but gets it over toward Vigliotti. Mustangs now work that puck up and out of the zone. Puck comes to Tanoff in the neutral zone. Tanoff gains the line, chips it off the glass as his forwards were clearing. 61 seconds left to go here in the second. Mustangs have a bit of a break if they can find the headman. They can't, but they do gain the zone. Shot comes in, bouncing puck goes all the way to the end boards, and it's found there by Tanoff. Tanoff curls behind his net, reverses. He's got a little ice in front of him. He'll use the boards to get that puck up. Not out of the zone just yet on the first try, but he does on the second. And now he's blocked off by his man. But Vigliotti with speed into the offensive zone. Vigliotti sends that puck in on net. And Finkelstein will try and pick up the rebound. He's taken out of the play there. And the Mustangs come right back the other way. Mustangs in the neutral zone. 27 seconds left to go. They're in the high slot. That shot goes up, and it's just gloved down by Speaker. He couldn't quite close the glove on that puck, but he throws it out of harm's way. The Mustangs will reset in the offensive zone. They're at the far point. Nice block there by Lorenzo. And now Kalemba taken out of the play, but Fauci with 10 seconds left to go into the offensive zone. Fauci will turn onto the backhand. Still on the backhand. Gets it on the forehand. Shoots. Just goes high of the cage. 2 seconds and 1, and that should do it here for the second period. After 2, it's the New York City Raiders 1, Long Island Mustangs 0. Stick around. Period 3's puck drop coming up next right here on Midnight Sports.
Hockey fans, have you ever missed the smell of hockey during the off-season? Well, worry not. Now all your successes, disappointments, obstacles, and achievements can be found in a bottle. C'est l'eau de hockey, parfum for men and women.
L'eau de hockey.
Our secret parfum formula distills the finest essences of the travel season hockey, including sweat-soaked used hockey tape,
3-day-old practice jerseys found under still damp equipment in a dark bag, and skates that smell so bad it's almost impossible to believe the odor could be caused by a human.
So they're okay.
Available at all fine purveyors of joke ads.
Well, let's get you set here for the third period as the Raiders come over the boards. Goalies checked, scorekeeper checked again. Raiders up a goal, power play goal. And the puck on the faceoff will roll all the way into the defensive zone for the Raiders, and they'll look to set it up to get this out. We're back to 5-on-5 skating. Mustangs work that farther into the zone, and Gossler there to send that puck up. Not out of the zone just yet. Does roll past, though, and Pizarro looking to dangle around his man in the neutral zone. Puck comes to a Mustang stick. Pizarro able to keep the zone momentarily. Now Berliner in for support. Puck sits at near half wall in the offensive zone. Mustangs will turn, though, and they'll fire that all the way up and out of the zone. Puck sits there in the blue paint, and Speaker's able to pass that up to Gossler. Gossler now on the puck, has that racked around the boards and out of the zone. Mustangs will have to take over in the neutral zone. Pizarro fires on his man. Mustangs come away with it at least momentarily. Berliner looking to work that over towards Samosi. Takes the puck himself into the offensive zone. He's got Samosi and Pizarro streaking in. Ooh, a late stick there, cut out by the Mustangs, and they'll have a 2-on-2 coming the other way. Tanoff gets in the way of that play and chops it out of the zone. Expert work by him as Berliner takes over in the offensive end. Comes over to Pizarro. Pizarro in the slot, works it back for Berliner, works it back for Pizarro. Puck sits momentarily in the paint, still loose. A save by the Mustangs goaltender, and they'll break the other way, will the Mustangs. This is some end-to-end action that the Raiders do not want to have up a goal here in the third period, but Tanoff able to gum up the play while Aiden covers in the defensive zone. Puck now sits at the near half wall in the offensive zone for the Mustangs, looking to work that out to the weak side. Instead, they hit the skate of Samosi, who kicks it farther. Samosi again with Pizarro with him into the offensive zone. He looks over, he finds Pizarro. Pizarro goes up. Oh, a wonderful save there by the Mustangs goaltender, keeping this a one-goal game. Oh, Samosi and Pizarro, a lethal combination in the offensive zone. Unable to tuck it past the Mustangs goaltender. So with 13:23 left to go here in the third, it's still Raiders 1, Mustangs 0. Ensuing faceoff's going to be Marchuk. He's got Fauci, Steinfink, Meyerwich out there. Rolling puck comes into the slot, and the Mustangs come away with it. Mustangs out of their zone. They work it past. Now they've got something developing into the slot to the Mustangs. Mustangs go in on Speaker. He's able to just shut that down in the pads, and we'll get a whistle. Not sure he knew much about where that rebound was. Turns out it was in the equipment. So with 13:09 left to go in the third, defensive zone draw coming up here for the Raiders. It'll be Marchuka, Steinfink, Fauci, Finkelstein, and Meyerwich out there as the 5 skaters for the Raiders. The Raiders will take over, send it over to the near half wall. It's now up to the near point. The Mustangs try and jam it farther. Finkelstein again going to work on his man there to gum up any play and any threat coming. 3 Raiders in. Shot comes in. It's again in Speaker's equipment there between the leg pads. He knew exactly where that one was. And so with 12:54 left to go here in the third period, it's another defensive zone draw coming up for the Raiders. Same 5 skaters stay out there. Marchuka wins that back harmlessly to the end wall. Fauci bodied off by his man momentarily, but Steinfink able to work the puck up to Marchuka, who finds Meyerowicz. Meyerowicz receives the puck, tries to chip it farther. Instead, the Mustangs come away with it. Bouncing puck comes in on Speaker. He waits a moment to see whether he should play it, and he covers there. Raiders won't make a change here. 12:39 left to go. Now they will. Petrosinelli comes out on the ice for Meyerowicz, and we'll reset again. Face-off coming to Speaker's right. Marchuka wins that face-off back to the far corner. It's Marchuka on the puck, finds Fauci, jams it around, and it comes up to the near point. Deflection comes in, goes wide of the cage. Fauci picks up the puck, finds Petrosinelli. Still not out of the zone. Those Mustangs are cheating a little bit toward the net there to try and get a goal. Marchuka comes the other way through the neutral zone. He's in with speed, looking for a teammate in front. He's got Petrosinelli there. Puck misses everyone, though, and the Mustangs will come right back the other way. It was a good pass by Marchuka. Looks like it was just deflected. And Speaker now with the puck. He's going to cover there after the long shot in. He gets sprayed. Oh, he gets sprayed. And it looks like it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Mustangs for giving Speaker the snow treatment right in the eyes as they went toward the crease. He looks to be okay, though. He's up. He's rubbing the eyes out there, as those ice shavings can sting when they come in. So it's going to be an offensive zone draw here coming up for the Raiders, going to the power play after that unsportsmanlike penalty to the Mustangs. It'll be Berliner over the near offensive dot. He's got Petrosinelli, Steinfink, Bizarro, and Marchuka out there with him. Raiders win that faceoff. Steinfink on the puck, jams it around, and now Bizarro lifts a stick of his man, looking for a teammate. He finds Marchuka just a little bit out of his reach, though, and the puck's going to leave the zone. Marchuka will collect. He'll look to go point-to-point with Steinfink, or at least fake like he's going to, and instead skate this puck out of his zone. He's in the neutral zone. He finds Bizarro, weak side. Bizarro now dances around his man at the far circle. He tries a tight angle shot. He hits the crossbar. Oh, my, the goaltender beat just a little too high. Petrosinelli all over his man. Steinfink tries to send that puck farther. Puck sits at the blue line, but now the Mustangs will turn with it. They're into the offensive zone on a shorty with speed. Berliner takes his man out of the play, but it's going to be a penalty. Raiders going to the box here with 11:25 left to go as Berliner takes his man out of the play. His man had the puck, but he got him in the back, it looks like. And they're going to call a trip. Unclear here exactly what the call is, but looks like it might be a trip. So 4-on-4 hockey here for the next minute and 20 seconds. 11:25 left to go here in the third. Defensive zone draw coming up for the Raiders. Meyerowicz over the near dot. Mustangs win that into the slot. Deflected by the stick of Marchuka wide of the goal. Grade A chance there for the Mustangs as they curl with the puck and then lose possession. It's a 3-on-2 the other way. Meyerowicz on the puck. Marchuka waits at the blue line. Meyerowicz steers it in deep. Mustangs now take over. A lot of ice out there as the Mustangs cheating here. They're able to get the puck in the neutral zone. On a mini break, but taken out by Marchuka. Heavy hit there. Totally legal hit as he works that puck up, looking for Samosi. Instead, reverses for Steinfink. Steinfink, oh, the Mustangs are out for blood now. Try a big hit there. They miss. Steinfink, who dances around his man, and now Marchuka comes the other way. The best way to make them pay, they always say, is on the scoreboard. Marchuka tries to score. And that puck saved by the Mustangs goaltender. So with 10:40 left to go in this one, the pace has picked up. 4-on-4 hockey still for the next 35 seconds. Offensive zone draw for the Raiders. It'll be Meyerowicz at the near dot. He's got Tanoff behind him. He works that puck over to Tanoff. Samosi out there too. But it looks like the Raiders will be going to the box again for a rough. And the Raiders don't agree with the call. That'll be Meyerowicz to the box here for 2 minutes. So For 30 seconds, it'll be a 4-on-3. And then for 40 seconds, it'll be a 5-on-3 for the Mustangs. 10:34 left to go here in the third period. 4-on-3 hockey coming up. It's Marchuka, Aiden, and Fauci. Marchuka wins that faceoff, takes the puck, reverses it all the way around in his own zone. And the Mustangs take over the puck, but that works out of the zone, and they'll have to set up again in the neutral zone, will the Mustangs. The Mustangs at the red line. Work that puck to the blue line, but it's steered right out of the zone by Fauci. Chipped past a man, and the Mustangs will have to set up again in the neutral zone. Mustangs on the puck there. They dump in. Aiden picks up the puck in his own zone, reverses, turns up. A wonderful play by him as Marchuka will take over this puck. He sends a shot in, saved nicely there, but Marchuka still on the puck. Tight angle shot, shoulder to side by the Mustangs goaltender. 5-on-3 hockey upcoming here for the Mustangs as Fauci dumps in to kill some of this. 30 more seconds of 5-on-3. A minute and 17 left to go on the second penalty to the Raiders. Mustangs set it up. They dump that puck in. Fauci turns. 9:43 left to go here in the third period as Fauci tries to jam that puck out of the zone. Marchuka in for support. Aiden stays net front. Marchuka sends that all the way around to the far point. And now a slapper comes in, goes wide of the cage, hits the end wall, and comes all the way out. Another shot comes in. It's gloved there by Speaker, who stops the play with just 1 second left to go here on the 5-on-3. 9:25 left to go in this one. Well, it'll be Bizarro, Gossler, Tanoff out there. We're back to 5-on-4 hockey as Bizarro gets tripped up at the near dot. Mustangs sending everything they can forward. They've got the puck there. It's gloved aside. That shot by Speaker and cleared by the Raiders. 39 seconds left to go here on the man advantage for the Mustangs. Finkelstein in on the penalty, the penalty kill and the forecheck. Now, Mustangs work that up into the neutral zone. They're at the near point, curling toward the zone. Raiders able to flick that out of the zone on the stick of Gossler. Looks like we're going to get a call, though, on the Mustangs here for holding with 8:57 left to go in this one. Right on back to 4-on-4 hockey for the next 23 seconds. And then a farther minute and 37 for the Raiders power play. Offensive zone draw coming up for the Raiders. Puck's dropped, one forward by Finkelstein in this 4-on-4 special teams extravaganza. Now the Raiders keep the zone through a nice pinch by Tanoff. Comes right back to the Mustangs, though. Finkelstein hunts down the puck at the blue line. Mustangs coming the other way now. Mini 2-on-1. They're in the slot, chopped out there by Gossler. Gossler able to take the puck, work it up toward Bizarro. Bizarro breaks into the offensive zone. 16 seconds left to go on the 4-on-4. Raiders fighting by the Zamboni doors over there for possession of the puck. Finkelstein in, Bizarro in on it. They've got Gossler and Tanoff behind them. Mustangs will emerge as the puck gets stuck in the boards momentarily, but now they come in. Do the Mustangs. They curl toward the slot. Shot comes in. Oh, it goes off. Speaker on the glove, and it goes in. That's a goal there by the Mustangs to tie this one up. 1-1 with 8:29 left to go in the third. Well, it looked like Speaker got handcuffed a little bit there on that shot, and he had been doing so well on those glove saves today. But try again. Mustangs able to put one past him. And so now the Raiders on the power play for a minute and 32 will need to put one past the Mustangs goaltender. Petro in, sends a soft shot in. It's just gloved there by the Mustangs goaltender. And the Mustangs with a little left after action in the blue paint there. And the linesmen come in quickly. Well, 5-on-4 hockey here as Petro wins that faceoff. Comes up to Fauci. Fauci sends that wide of the cage. Colombo will now turn to track down the puck in the far corner. Kalemba jams that puck farther as the Raiders need to get possession back, to get some shots on goal. Puck comes up to Vigliotti. Vigliotti at the blue line, dumps it in farther, and it's going to come to a Mustang stick, but not out as Vigliotti blocks the clearance attempt. Tight angle shot comes in. Petrosinelli working hard there. Shepherded over to Vigliotti. Vigliotti tries another shot. Bouncing puck into the blue paint, stuck at the side of the cage as Kalemba tries to work it out front. Puck comes back to Kalemba, who turns, reverses, and Vigliotti will have to go in on the forecheck. Puck comes up to Fauci. Fauci on the puck. Wrister comes in, goes just wide of the cage. It was kicked aside anyway by the Mustangs goaltender. Comes up to Vigliotti, who sends that shot wide of the cage. Rebound goes wide of all sticks. 33 seconds left to go here on the power play for the Raiders. Mustangs trying to work that puck up and out of the zone. They chip it off the boards, still not out of the zone as Kalemba fires it back in. Comes to Fauci's skates, kicks it farther over toward Vigliotti. Vigliotti works it for Petrosinelli. Petrosinelli works that puck in deeper. Just 14 seconds left to go on the man advantage. Fauci on the puck, sends that shot wide. Mustangs want a penalty call, none coming as Aiden chips that puck farther. And this puck's going to be sent all the way down for an icing with 6:59 left to go in this game. Just 2 seconds left on the Raiders power play. Well, the Mustangs bench and fans did not like that hitting in the corner. They wanted a call there. No call coming, though, and Berliner leans over the dot. Mustangs win that faceoff. They send a backhander up and out of the zone, and now they'll come the other way, as it looked like that puck had just entered the offensive zone for the Raiders, so it's an offside call that probably saves them from a 2-on-1 break the other way. Now puck's dropped just outside the offensive zone of the Raiders. Mustangs come away with it. They use the boards to get that up and out. Now it comes up to Gossler in the neutral zone. Gossler tries to jam it farther there, looking for Bizarro, who's able to get that puck past his man. Bizarro in, tight angle there, sends it in on goal, and it's kicked aside by the Mustangs goaltender. Mustangs will come away in their own zone with the puck. It's a 2-on-2 developing. They're at the blue line are the Mustangs. Puck comes over to Tanoff's area, who shepherds his man farther into the far corner. Now Tanoff able to reverse it over towards Samosi. Samosi tries to send that puck up and out of the zone. It does eventually cross the blue line with some help from Berliner. Pizarro on the puck. Leaves it for Samosi, who takes his man right here at the door out of the play. Raiders work that farther into the neutral zone. Mustangs fire. Puck sits for a moment, and now Tanoff will turn in his own zone to pick up the puck with 6:23 left to go. Mustangs have the puck at the far point. Samosi wipes his man out of the play. Mustangs, though, get a shot that hits a body in front, never gets through. Now it's in the slot. It's chipped farther, hits another body. Mustangs trying to get something on net. Puck still sits at the far circle, and now Tanoff's able to send that up to the far point. Then the puck comes into the Raiders bench after it's sent there by a Mustangs player. So with 6:03 left to go here in the third, we'll get a stoppage in play. This puck's going to be dropped just outside the defensive zone for the Raiders. It'll be Marchuka out there with Meyerowicz and Finkelstein. Puck's moved up by Tanoff. Marchuka chips to himself through the neutral zone, looking for Meyerowicz creeping into the zone there, but unable to get it to him. So now the Mustangs clear the zone. Gosser covers in the neutral zone, tries to send that puck farther, comes off his stick right in front of the linesman, and Finkelstein now looks to work it farther. Puck still sits at the red line. There are 5 players and an official in trying to move that puck. Mustangs come away with it momentarily, only so far as Finkelstein, who finds Marchuka. Marchuka has Meyerowicz in there. Meyerowicz streaking to the net for a rebound. Instead, it's saved nicely by the Mustangs goaltender. So with 5:27 left to go, offensive zone draw coming up for the Raiders. That'll be Marchuka at the far dot. He's got Gosser and Tanoff behind him. Finkelstein and Meyerowicz out there as well. Marchuka wins that faceoff, sits at the dot. Finkelstein fires it farther, and the Mustangs rack it around the boards. Comes up to a pinching Gosler. Mustangs get past him, and now Tanoff will cover before a Mustangs player gets there, eliminating any 2-on-1. Puck sits right in front of the camera well here as Finkelstein works it farther, but the Mustangs do come away with it. Mustangs into the offensive zone at the blue line now. Try and work that puck farther. They send a shot wide of the cage. Tanoff will turn to get that puck, and Marchuka will take over behind his own net. Marchuka skating with the puck on the backhand. He dances around one man, then two. Into the neutral zone is Luke Marchuka. He dangles around through the legs around one man, then tries to find Meyerowicz, who nearly had that shot in and on, but it was cut out by a last-minute Mustang stick. Aiden tracks back, goes point to point with Fauci. He works that up toward Marchuka. Marchuka, heavy hit there, and Finkelstein able to dump that puck in. Hits the Zamboni doors, takes a weird carom. Meyerowicz first to it, just rolls off his stick though as the Mustangs chip that puck up and out of the zone. Raiders nearly took a too many men on the ice penalty there, but Samosi was able to get off the ice in time. Mustangs fire into the zone. They're in the slot now, rolling puck there. It's going to be covered by Speaker, who reaches out as the whistle goes. Puck looked to have been loose after Speaker was jostled, but the whistle went before, and so with 4:15 left to go here in the third, still a tie hockey game. Defensive zone draw coming up for the Raiders. It'll be Petrosinelli at the far dot. He wins that forward, comes to a Mustang stick. Puck is shot and deflected high and wide. Mustangs trying to get something out front. Puck now comes over to Petrosinelli behind his own cage. Mustangs now with possession, looking for something in the slot. It's kicked farther by Petrosinelli to himself. He's got a streaking Vigliotti who receives the pass. It's one-on-one. Vigliotti trying to get a shot lined up there, but it comes off his stick, and the Mustangs look to break out of their zone at their own blue line. Mustangs now out of their zone. They come weak side into the offensive zone, do the Mustangs. Fauci able to body his man off the puck, and now Vigliotti on it, but the Mustangs come away within the slot. Look out, shot deflected off Gosler's skate, and now the Mustangs try to get something on net, but it's worked out to the near half wall, and the Raiders try and break out of the zone. They do. Puck rolls through the neutral zone. Vigliotti with speed and momentum takes over the puck. He's all alone there, but he's taken out of the play. Looks like we're going to have an interference call here on the Mustangs right at the last minute. Kalemba had snuck into the offensive zone as well, waiting net front, and looks like the Raiders able to work themselves into a power play here with just 3:20 left to go in this game, and that's 2 minutes for interference to the Mustangs. It'll be a timeout for the Raiders. Stick around. We'll have the conclusion of this one coming up next. Well, we'll get you set here. It's a tie hockey game, 3:20 left. Raiders on the power play. They win the faceoff. Comes up to Marchuka. Marchuka walks in, sends a shot in, hits a shin of a Mustangs player who's hurt by that. Marchuka sends that up to the slot. It comes into the blue paint, and it's scored by Dom Bazar. That's a power play goal for the Raiders. They potted almost immediately, just 9 seconds into the power play for the Raiders. and they hit pay dirt and have reestablished their 1-goal lead with 3:11 left to go in this game. Ensuing faceoff's going to be Petrosinelli, Meyerowicz, Samosi, Gosler, and Aiden out there. Mustangs win that faceoff. They try and work it up through the neutral zone. Raiders take over, and Meyerowicz tucks that puck in deeper. Mustangs fire that out of the zone. Gosler will turn into his own zone. That puck's not going to go across. We are on 5-on-5 skating after the power play goal for the Raiders, despite the penalty still being up on the board. Now it's the Mustangs with the puck in the neutral zone. Meyerowicz works that forward, chips a bouncing puck into the zone to try and kill off more of this game. 2:42 left to go in this one as the Mustangs emerge from their own zone with the puck. Meyerowicz sends his man wide. Mustangs looking for, yes, that's going to be a call there on the Mustangs at first, but it looks like the Raiders may go to the box here too. That was a high elbow from the Mustangs player. But it looks like Samosi will go to the box here too for trying to defend a teammate. So with 2:32 left to go here, might be 4-on-4 hockey coming up for the Raiders and the Mustangs. Well, they've judged it to be coincidental minors. That's because the whistle blew right when the penalty was called, and the retaliation penalty is the same. So anyway, 5-on-5 skating. Puck comes up to a Mustang, shoots it in, hits Berliner's skate, and Berliner's going to shepherd this out. 2:24 left to go in this game. Berliner gains the offensive zone. Puck rolls off his stick in the near corner. He dumps it in and around. He's got Kalemba in there, takes a heavy hit behind the cage, but he's able to retain possession of the puck. Berliner finds Bizarro, works it farther for Berliner. Shot comes in, saved by the Mustangs. They'll take over at the near half wall. They send that weak side all the way down the ice. Should be an icing as soon as it crosses the end line. It is, with just 2:02 left to go in this one. Offensive zone draw coming up for the Raiders. Puck's dropped, won by the Raiders, comes up to Aiden. Deflection comes in. Oh, a nice save there on the Berliner redirect. Finkelstein takes over, works it over to Bizarro. Bizarro shoots, it's gloved there by the Mustangs goaltender. 2 wonderful saves by the Mustangs. Keeps this a 1-goal game. 1:52 left to go in the third period. Offensive zone draw coming up for the Raiders. Well, this Casbah's rocking, and it's going to be Berliner winning that face-off forward and looking to work that over toward Finkelstein at the net front. Berliner still on the puck in the offensive zone, works it all the way up to Fauci, who dumps that puck farther in, comes off his stick, and Tanoff will take over and send that puck just wide of the cage. Finkelstein tries to find Berliner. Puck sits there. Mustangs kick that forward, though. Mustangs with possession. They've got a 3-on-2 developing. 1:30 left to go. Tanoff pushes his man wide in the offensive zone. Mustangs try and work it up through the point, but instead, Finkelstein able to work that up and out of the zone, and the Mustangs going to the box for interference on Eli Finkelstein, who has had a very strong game. So with 1:20 left, just 80 seconds, Raiders back to the power play, up a man and up a goal. .120 left. Berliner wins that offensive zone draw. Marchuka works it over to Gossler. Gossler fires one in. It's saved nicely by the Mustangs, who will take over in the near corner. Work it up to Gossler. Gossler sends it right back down. Petrosinelli fires behind the net. Mustangs desperate to work this out of the zone. They do across the blue line. Puck comes up to Marchuka, who leaves it for Gossler, who turns right the other way. Gossler now on the puck. Gossler into the offensive end. On the wrist shot. Sends that up, over, and in. That's a Gossler goal. The Raiders take a 2-goal lead. That puck just creeped across the end line over the glove of the Mustangs goaltender. And with 53.5 seconds left to go in this one, it's Raiders 3, Mustangs 1 on a power play goal by Silas Gossler. Well, ensuing faceoff's going to be Berliner. He's got Petrosinelli, Bizarro, Tanoff, and Aiden out there with him. Berliner over center ice as the lines get worked out here for all the players. 5-on-5 hockey now after the power play goal. Mustangs take over into the offensive end. This one's not over yet as Tanoff fires and sends that puck up to the far point, not out. Bouncing puck, hits a body in front, doesn't come all the way through. Now the shot comes in, hits Tanoff that time, still to the side of Speaker there as the Mustangs player blows a tire. Bizarro lifts the stick of his man. He's going to get this puck out of the zone. Comes over to Petrosinelli, who's through the neutral zone with speed. Petrosinelli sends a shot high into the top corner, but it's gloved there by the Mustangs goaltender nicely. And so with 24.6 seconds left to go in this one, offensive zone draw for the Raiders with a 2-goal lead. Now it'll be Finkelstein over the near dot. He's got Aiden Meyerowicz and Vigliotti out there with him. Tanoff as well. Tanoff tries to jam that puck farther. The Mustangs now with 24 seconds come through the neutral zone with speed again. Mustangs not giving up. They're at the near circle. They send that shot high over the cage. Puck comes up to the blue line, not out. Shepherded in farther by the Mustangs. Comes to Vigliotti's stick, who does feather that out for Meyerowicz. Meyerowicz takes that on the turn with speed, dumps that puck in. Veteran play there by Jake Meyerowicz to kill off the rest of this game. That's 3 seconds, 2 and 1, and that's a Raiders victory. We've gone final here at City Ice Pavilion as the Raiders take this one 3-1 over the Long Island Mustangs. Thanks so much for tuning in to this one. Please remember to join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. from City Ice Pavilion as the New York City Raiders take on the Great Neck Bruins. We'll see you then, but until then, stay safe.